One take, one shot. This is the Clash in Paris review where I do it all in one take, no edits. And boy, howdy, this was a good PLE. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Was it perfect? No. There was one match that I thought really needed to go the distance, and it didn't. Not for me, at least. And then there's a couple things here and there that I would have done different, but not the end of the world. And I'll say this, though. This was good. This was good. Even the ending had a shock ending that wasn't just there so they could, because Triple H loves his moments, right? He loves his moments, and those moments he will sacrifice storytelling for. But this moment here, that was such a shock, will lead into lots of stories. There's lots of potential here. So this was not a swerve for swerve's sake. And I love that. I love that. This was like kind of a back to basics PLE. Nothing crazy happened. And it was still good, and you can still see the forward movement of stories and characters. Unfortunately, this belt right here was not defended. The world title was, but Cody, he said he wanted that John Cena schedule, and yet, hopefully we get Cody 8 more times this year, because he's not present. But just because Cody's not going to defend the title doesn't mean Chop isn't going to defend this title. I will give this title away at 20,000 subscribers. All you got to do to win, I'm going to give it away. All you got to do to win is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification, and you can win said belt. Not a toy, it's a replica. You can win it, and I can quit my day job, so please help me out. Did I say comment, subscribe, hit the bell, ding, ding, do all that, and we got ourselves a contest at 20,000 subscribers. All right, so we've got Paris. We're in Paris. The crowd, they're amazing. They're awesome. Love Paris. And yeah, they're just great. This crowd is hot. We knew they would be, and they were. We also have a stage design. The Eiffel Tower. I don't remember the last time. I literally don't remember the last time WWE shelled out some money to decorate the stage. And I think it added a lot to the presentation. Let me put this belt down real quick. So then what do we got? We start off with Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. And am I? Yes. Okay, I am. I wasn't sure if the audio was going on. Me, audio. We start off with Roman versus Bronson Reed, and it was good. Bronson Reed had a lot of confidence in this matchup. If you like Roman Reigns, or you like Bronson Reed, you're going to like this match. Bronson Reed, he does lose, but I don't think it's burying him. This is very much akin to when John Cena stood up against Brock Lesnar, the next big thing in 2003, and he was a mid-card act trying to get into that main event, and look at where John is now. This is akin to The Miz when he's a mid-card act going up against John Cena running his mouth, and John Cena, hey, Brock Lesnar pinned John Cena pinned The Miz, and here we got a mid-card guy going up against Roman Reigns, disrespected him, and yet he lost. But again, if you look at those last two guys, The Miz and John Cena, they were elevated up to main event not long after they went up against an actual main eventer, and that's what's happening here. Bronson Reed went up against a main eventer. He lost, but no shade. It's Roman Reigns. This is Roman Reigns' only second singles match the entire year, the first one being Solo Sikoa, and but then Bronson just looked very confident throughout the match. It was good storytelling. There were 2 rest holds that I was kind of like, I don't think we need 2 rest holds so close to each other, but whatever. Again, certain things I would have done a little different, but overall, great stuff here. At one point, he does try to take off his shoes again. He tries to steal his shoes, which I thought was hilarious, and you might be thinking, oh, that was stupid. Is it? I think that's some Sun Tzu art of war going on. Imagine taking off someone's shoes, and now they can't run. He can't run and do his spear or his Superman punch at the velocity in which he would. So taking off his shoes is actually very good offensive, defensive move. But that said, we had only there's a couple other good things that happened. There was a moment where Roman was trying to spear, and I think Bronson Reed did like a drop kick, and I was like, whoa. And then there was another one when he basically stood there and just caught Roman. He just caught Roman. Like, it went from Roman moving to Roman not moving. And it was like, whoa, Bronson Reed looked good. He does lose, but not a big deal. It's really not a big deal because he gets all his heat back soon after. So now Paul Heyman is like, oh, Bronson, you lost. And he has the Shula Fala around his neck. And Roman at first is just, one's in the air, soaking in the adulations of the French. And then he sees Paul Heyman. He stands behind Paul. Paul realizes, like a scary movie, turns around. He's like, oh, my tribal chief, I love you. And then Roman gets his shoes, and then he puts him in the guillotine. Roman got his hands on Paul. This is what I would have changed. I don't think I would have allowed Roman to beat up Paul Heyman here. This should have been way down the road. I think Roman needed to go through Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and then get his hands on Paul Heyman at WrestleMania. I think we could have waited just a little longer here because now he's already beat up Paul. What's the point? He doesn't need to beat him up again. He already choked him out. So that's one thing I would have changed. Not the end of the world. Then Roman goes out to the crowd and he starts signing. He's on the announce table. He starts signing his shoes and he throws them. He throws them out. You get a shoe. And then nobody else gets a shoe because Braun Breaker spears. He runs across the French table to Roman. Boom, broken. And now we've got ourselves the faction getting their heat back because all the people come out, get out of here. They start walking up the aisle. Roman circles the ring. He's getting help. He's hurt. Oh, my insides. I got speared. And once he gets to the bottom of the ramp, Braun Breaker's like, goes for it. He just goes for it, right? And he spears him. And then Bronson Reed comes. He's like, let's do this. I just wanted to beat somebody up with my best friend. He tsunamis Roman. They're told to get out of here. They put Roman on a stretcher. I would have changed this too. I feel putting Roman on a stretcher after like 2 spears and a tsunami, it should have been at least 2 to 3 tsunamis, okay? I get it. Seth took 6. We don't need to give Roman 6, but I think he should have at least had 2 before we put him on the stretcher. However, they didn't make up for it because now Roman is on the stretcher, right? And this is the cool thing. They're like, screw it, let's beat him up some more. Now, I'm not an advocate. I'm not saying, oh, yes, I love that they beat up Roman. I do for storytelling purposes. I'm not just being like, oh, I hate Roman, let's do it. No, I think this is good storytelling here. And then he tsunamis Roman while he's in while he's on the stretcher. That was an amazing visual. And now, this is a beatdown that you could see actually putting Roman on the shelf for a minute. He was like completely unprotected. He was even strapped down and he gets tsunamied. That's tough. That's tough. And the best part is then Jey Uso comes running out, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what should happen. Roman Reigns has one ally in the building, and it's his family. He should come running down, and I'm very happy that he did. And then he takes a beat down. And we got spears, we got tsunamis. Great stuff here. Now that it explains if Roman needs to go away for a little bit. I don't care. I don't care if they overplay this because it worked right here. Everything was great, and Bronson Reed looked like a killer, even though he lost the match. Like, I'm telling you, this put them over. This put over Breaker and Bronson Reed. And Jey Uso, now he's injured and he still has to wrestle tonight. Roman Reigns, he won, got his shoes back, but he still put them over. Good stuff. This will lead to Adam Pearce ejecting the Brawns. And so he's like, if you come back, you're suspended without pay. So, Seth Rollins is now by himself. That adds a layer of intrigue. Instantly, I'm like, ooh, is Jey going to win now? Did they let Jey get beat up here so he overcomes this underdog story? I don't know. Then we go to the second match of the night is the Street Profits and the Wyatts. Now, I did not like this. I hated this. And it might be me, just an old man yelling at a cloud, but the Street Profits, they came out wearing Borderlands. It's a video game gear. I thought that was dumb. I do not like that kind of product placement. It made no sense for them. If you want to put like video game stuff on the New Day, then that makes sense. And you're like, well, the New Day weren't on the card. Well, then write a storyline where the New Day are on the card, so then the advertisement kind of plays into the characters, because the New Day are very much a cosplayed tag team. The Street Profits, they like to party. They're not nerds. The New Day are nerds, and I'm saying that in all the best ways possible. I'm a giant nerd, okay? I love the New Day. I thank God for the New Day, and the New Day would have been perfect for this sponsor. But not the Street Profits. So I hated that. The Street Profits come out to masks and stuff, and it just was not a good look for the Street Profits. I understand. They're doing their jobs. I meant a TKO and not the Street Profits, but I hated it. Hated it. Then the Wyatts come out. They come out, we get the butterflies, not the butterflies, the Fireflies. Great presentation. Again, the French, they showed up. And this was a good match. The interesting thing here, though, is in the beginning of the match, we very much have Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford kind of at odds with each other. So it does look like a breakup is happening in the next 2 or 3 months. I'm glad it didn't happen here, though. They've been together 8 years. It needs to take a while. I want to have a barbershop moment where somebody's head goes through some glass here for this giant heel turn. But yeah, so this match, though, very, very good. Very solid tag team. I have not been feeling the Wyatts as a tag team. Just, not that I don't like the Wyatts. I'm like, every other tag team is better than these dudes. Why are they the champs? But tonight, they showed up. It wasn't the greatest tag team match of all time. No, but it was a very good tag team match. Very, very solid tag team affair. I enjoyed it. It was good. The Wyatts, they looked like champions tonight. And the Street Profits, while yes, they had some tension in the beginning, where even they tagged themselves in and out where the other one didn't want to, kind of via Miz and Mello. They eventually get on the same page, and they're a very solid unit the rest of the night. Now eventually Eric Rowan will distract, and eventually Nikki Cross will prevent Montez Ford from getting in the ring. And Montez Ford, who did kind of a suck-it motion to Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, well, this comes back to haunt him, where Bo Dallas now comes as he's being held by Nikki Cross and gives him the Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3, the Wyatts win. And honestly, it was fine. And it looks like everybody's going to get their wish, and the Street Profits will probably break up in 2 or 3 months. Let's see, what is the next match? Next match, we got Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch. I was not overly excited about this match. I'm loving Becky Lynch, and I want to take a side note down a little bunny trail. Someone said to me, "Oh, if Sami Zayn is so overbooked or overpowered, or Sammy Hogan, what about Becky Hogan?" And I told that person exactly. Becky leaned into all of her criticisms and made it a part of her character, and now she's brilliant and awesome. Sami Zayn is not leaning into those criticisms and kind of just ignoring them, which makes it not awesome. And I love Becky Lynch. She is so good now, so good. I was so mad at her after WrestleMania. Now I think she's one of the best on the roster once more. And Nikki Bella, she just seems out of place in the current product. WWE has spent a lot of time telling us about the women's revolution and how kind of discounting the divas. And so now that we got a legend from that diva era, it's a little jarring. But I will say this: good match. Nikki Bella very much surprised me tonight. This was a solid affair. It was won by a roll-up. It was the only roll-up of the night, which, thank God, they do too many roll-ups. But this was a good match. Solid. If you are a Nikki Bella fan, you will love this match. She did a really good job. But honestly, if you're a Becky Lynch fan, you will like it too. It was just good all around. And one of the best parts, honestly, was a botch. So there's a point where Nikki Bella, she goes on the ropes, and then she kind of jumps off the ropes and does like a kick, but she's very far away from Becky, and you can tell it was supposed to hit Becky in the face. Becky doesn't act like it hit her though. Becky saw that it was like you don't sell something if it doesn't hit. I'm not saying, oh, Nikki Bella sucks because she made a mistake, but if Becky would have sold that as if it hit, that's all we would be watching. It's all we would be watching. When I think back to that SummerSlam match, I just remember Lyra Valkyria coming out of her cuffs and then going back in. You don't sell a botch. And Becky didn't sell that botch, and so now most people are going to forget about it. And I give Becky a lot of credit for that and for them getting back on the same page. Was it noticeable? Kind of, but it's going to be forgettable now because they didn't sell it. And so, two pros, Nikki Bella, very impressed. I'm very impressed, and I would like to see more of this. And Becky Lynch, she's been firing on all cylinders since she said that she was going to hold down talent. So good job, Becky. We'll talk about Becky a little more later on. The next match is the thing that really brought the tone of the PLE down for me. It was Rusev versus Sheamus. I love Rusev. I've told you I love Rusev, but for some reason, I am not connecting with him on this current run. And that's sad because I'm a big, I celebrate Rusev Day every single day. I love Rusev in a tank, but this Rusev, I don't know. In fact, Rusev the Redeemer was one of my favorite characters in AEW. So this Rusev, I just don't know. I don't like violence for violence sake, but this match should have been violent. It should have been a bloody affair. This match should have gone all over the place. This match should have tore the house down, and I just don't think it did. I didn't feel it. It was all right. It was an all right match. If you're a big fan of Arn Anderson, you're probably gonna like this match. It was very old school. If you know who Dino Bravo is and Terry Taylor, if you're grew up in that era, you probably will actually like this match. But if you just started watching wrestling in the last 5 years, you probably think this was lame. So, and I've kind of been more acclimated, this one just did not do it for me. It just did not do it for me. It was good. I could tell it was good, right? But I'm just kind of sitting there like this, waiting for it to be over. And I'm sorry, both guys are great, but I just kind of was like, all right, come on, let's go. Let's wait for the big spot. And the big spots happened. There was a what's the accolade? He put the accolade on a bunch of keg barrels. That was a cool sight. But for the most part, I just don't know. I hope they make it though. I do love these guys, but I just couldn't. This was the match that if they wanted to cut, they should have cut. Or they should have put AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio in this slot right here. And we'll talk AJ in a second. What else? Our next match is, oh shoot, I can't even tell anymore. Did I talk about 4 matches? Yeah, I talked about 4 matches. So that means our 5th match, John Cena versus Logan Paul. John Cena, Logan Paul. It started off slow, but then it just got good, and then it got great, and then it got awesome. It just kept getting better and better. It was slow in the beginning. I was actually a little surprised. I was like, maybe John Cena has lost a step, and he can only go with people who are like ring generals, and Logan Paul, for how great he is, he's not probably a ring general yet. But then, then all my fears were tossed out the window because this match, it was so freaking good. It got better and better and better, and I loved it. Near falls, big moves. John Cena pointed out hurricanranas. It was like his U.S. Open challenge all over again. He did a pop rocks, code red, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, John Cena did that. and one time, I love that he did this too. He did a Styles clash, and then the audience erupted and started singing for AJ Styles. God, AJ should have been on this card. Oh man, now they're gonna do it on Raw, but I'm telling you, shave off 5 minutes of every match, or don't do Rusev, Sheamus. AJ Styles, missed opportunity here, but I'm so glad John, you could tell, was enjoying everything and soaking it in, baby. It was good. It was great. It was phenomenal, pun intended, and John Cena won. And now John Cena has 99 victories on PLE, the second most behind Undertaker, so that's kind of cool. But there's only 2 PLEs left, and Saturday night's main event, but that's not a PLE. So, WrestlePalooza, if he doesn't beat Brock Lesnar, then he has to win at Survivor Series to get to 100 matches, because now he currently has 99 matches. So that's kind of a cool little tidbit, footnote for this whole John Cena retirement tour. Hopefully he gets 101, because I just want to see John Cena win now. I booed him for most of his career, but I love John Cena right now. Definitely, if you're a Logan Paul fan, which I know there's only 3 of you out there, or a John Cena fan, you're going to want to watch this match. It was fan-freaking-tastic. Loved it. Can't speak any more highly of it. I guess I can. Let me hear. Here, I'm higher now, and I'm telling you how much I love it. So, it was a great match, though. Did you get that? I was higher. All right. Sorry. I wish I could cut that, but can't. One take, one shot. Now we have our fatal 4-way. Ooh. They go to Seth before, though. They're like, hey, Seth, you don't have anyone beside you. Paul's in the hospital. The Brawns have been gone, and Seth's like, if I can't do it by myself, then I shouldn't have this match. Don't forget, I chose them. I don't need them. And so now we have Jey Uso. He comes out. Everybody's eating. We have LA Knight come out. Everybody's yelling. We have CM Punk come out. Everybody's CM Punking? I don't know. But then Seth Rollins comes out, and God, I'm gonna die on this hill, like the whoa from the crowd. Just can't stand a heel getting that kind of reaction. This was a good match. It started off good too, where CM Punk instantly kicks Jey Uso, which is a callback to Monday night when Jey Uso blindsided CM Punk, every man for himself. Then Seth Rollins tries to sneak out because, hey, you know what? Why exert energy when you can let your enemies fight? Sun Tzu Art of War again. And LA Knight and CM Punk go at it. This was a crazy match. It was chaotic, but it was good. It wasn't just going to sit on the outside and pretend I've been beat up forever, unless it was on purpose and called for it for storyline reasons. CM Punk, there was a Slim Jim table set up, and he didn't fully go through it, so the moral of the story is you can't always snap it to a Slim Jim. Therefore, maybe try Jack's Beef Jerky. By the way, this was also the last PLE on Peacock, so I'm not affiliated with any VPNs, but if I were, I'd be telling you to get a VPN. Stephanie McMahon tells you the same thing. So anyways, back to this. Otherwise, you're paying $30 for the next PLE on ESPN. Back to this match. Just a lot of cool things. Let me see. Did I put any notes? I was just watching. I just got enthralled. There was a moment where Seth Rollins is yelling at LA Knight, and the crowd is like whoaing, and he's like, you hear that? That's the sound of your God. And we have a moment where Jey Uso, what's Jey Uso doing? Oh man, there was like Jey Uso was pitting LA Knight or something, and CM Punk comes out of nowhere with an elbow. Then we get a curb stomp. No, elbow, GTS, curb stomp, just a really cool sequences. I definitely recommend this match as well. There's just a lot of cool sequences. I can't really go into just all of the craziness behind it, but we get to the end, right? CM Punk looks to be winning. Everybody has been curb stomped, right, on the outside. We get to the end, and Seth Rollins, he gets one go to sleep, hits the ropes, falls back into CM Punk's shoulders, just like they did at the Netflix premiere. Same exact ending. And he goes to do it again, but someone in a hoodie. You know how, like, Jimmy Uso always comes in a hoodie? There's nothing in there. I'll just have to tough it out. You know, Jimmy Uso always comes in like a black hoodie and everything. Well, same thing. So it's like, oh my God, who is this? And low blow, CM Punk, he had Seth Rollins on. Low blow, And then it's revealed it's the man Becky Lynch. The man Becky Lynch. And then Seth Rollins does the stomp. 1, 2, 3. And we've got our fourth member of the Vision. The man. The fourth man is the man. Becky Lynch right now. Now, first off, I think they should have let Becky lose the Intercontinental title now. Being that she's about to enter into this huge program as one of the top guys of WWE in the top faction, she could have lost her title and then gone after the world title. And we wouldn't even have to have taken it off Naomi at this point, so she could have had the world title, and we could have had dueling world titles in the same faction. That would have been cool. And we could still do that, but at least the Intercontinental title would have been freed up, and she would have got all her heat back. Yeah, I lost to Nikki, but I'm in the Vision. Anyways, so Becky and Seth, they're just laughing. And Seth even at one point was like, "You don't matter, your family don't matter. I just want you out of WWE." It was good stuff here. This was a solid swerve that can lead into other stories. As long as Becky and Seth are together on Monday Night Raw, then it makes perfect sense. If this was just a one-time thing, that would kind of suck, honestly. And, you go back the last couple of weeks, Becky has always been mentioning her hot husband, and Seth has been mentioning his hot wife, and yeah, never really been done to have this kind of power couple at the top. And it would be so hilarious if, they did 5 seconds of making out almost every time, because that would be heat. People would hate that. I know I would. I'd be like, "Oh, God, stop it." But that's what we're supposed to want from our heels. Make us hate you. And I think if they made out for 5 seconds before every interview would be great. I love this. Becky will cut way better interviews than Seth. I know Seth can cut a good interview, but every week it's all about him. Becky will cut an interview where it's about the universe, the WWE universe, and how they are horrible and she's great. Seth is more like how great he is and how he's going to fix everything. It's all about Seth in a certain way. Seth is more of an inward promo, while Becky is an outward promo, and I want an outward promo person. So, heck, I wouldn't even mind if Becky starts leading this group, because I would much rather hear her promos. They're going to be hilarious, though. They are going to be hilarious. I did yawn 13 times, but probably half of them was that Sheamus Rusev match. I'm going to give this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 chops. Do I want to give it 9? I enjoyed myself. It's a high 8. It's a very, very high 8. Maybe low 9. If you want to give it a 9, go for it. I'm going to give it a high 8. If I was doing a point system, it would be 8.9. But I'm just going to go 8. Play it safe. I'll probably sleep on it, regret it, and want to do a 5, but it's definitely an 8 for me. Definitely a high 8. That is Clash in Paris. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Don't forget to get a VPN. Otherwise, you're paying $30 for ESPN. VPN or ESPN. You take your pick. But Stephanie McMahon says, serve shark. All right, boys. All right, girls. You have yourselves a great day. See you. Bye.